discuss to you about obesity today. So I want you to imagine this statistic or this theory that has been thought of and looked into by a man named Wong and a few others. And this article that I got it from was, "Will all Americans become overweight or obese?" So this is what it's trying to tell us. Imagine by 2050 that 90% of the American population will be overweight, obese, or morbidly obese. That is only those who are overweight to morbidly obese. And there's 10% who would either be normal weight or underweight. That 10% is not just the healthy weights, that's also the underweight. So I want you to imagine this. Imagine carrying around 20 to 30 extra pounds. Backpack, suitcase, briefcase, I don't know. Just think about that. Now, think about carrying that all day, every day, to work, to dinner, to bed, just carrying around with you. Now I want you to imagine 70 pounds. That's quite a bit different right there. Perhaps a backpack full of bricks, or perhaps 2 briefcases, 2 suitcases, depending on what you put in them, I guess. That's a bit more tiring, carrying that around with you all day, every day, on your back perhaps. It's just 70 extra pounds. Now, imagine carrying 150 extra pounds of weight on you. That is the average weight of an American woman, 150 pounds. Carrying that with you, walking with it, driving with it, doing work with it, sitting with it, having a person sitting in your lap while you're eating, that's not easy. These may seem like numbers out of a hat, but those are the different weight categories. 20 to 30 is overweight. 70 is obese to almost morbidly obese. 150 is morbidly obese. These are true percentages and true weight pounds that people actually carry around. To some of you, this may be shocking or scary, or perhaps you've never thought about it. And I want to point out to you today some of the causes of it, whether they be seen or unseen. I want to pose this question to you. Why is obesity rising? Because it is. Now, obesity has always been on the rise from what we've seen since we've done censuses on the percentage of being healthy and unhealthy. And what it shows is that in the 60s and 70s, obesity was 15%. Now that's the 60s and 70s. Let's move to 2016. 40% were obese to morbidly obese, 60% overweight to obese and morbidly obese. 60%. Now just look at this. 1980 to 2008, we rose 20% in obesity. 20%. And I get this from another CDC map about adult obesity, and this is only adults. Now, I want to tell you this as well. Ethnicity plays a part in this. Ethnicity and income and a few other things. But also the CDC has given me some percentages that I found. Here are some of the percentages. Hispanic Americans are 47% obese or overweight. Black African Americans are 46.8, whites are 37.9, and Asians are 12.7. We have 47, 47, 38, and 13. As we see here, the Hispanics and the African Americans do have the higher obesity rate. And you might be able to think about some of the causes for it yourself, but we'll discuss it in a little bit anyways. So the reason for this rise, and this drastic rise, is obvious and not obvious, as I said before. Some of the reasons for it, according to McAllister and a few others who wrote this article, 10 putative contributors to the obesity epidemic. Here's some of the ones she gave us. Diet and activity, as before ethnicity, income, population, health, and modern conveniences. As we all know, Americans are busy. We don't tend to make time to make ourselves dinners or lunches or that sort of stuff. It's easier just to go somewhere and get a fast food, which, as you know, is not the healthiest thing or the best option. But that's what happens. We don't tend to take time to make that step, make that meal. We usually just go for vending machines, fast foods, quick and easy, and not too expensive. And this is common. If we're not going to make time for making our own food, why would we make time to exercise? Our jobs usually involve sitting, standing, talking on phones, computer work, and that doesn't involve any activity. We are very low in activity currently, mostly because our jobs don't require it. There's also the income factor. As we saw before, Hispanics and African Americans tend to have a high rate of obesity, and that is could be because of their low income. Therefore, they're going to buy lower quality products that are in greater portions. A big box of cereal might cost $3 to $4, while a healthier box of cereal might cost $5 to $6. Smaller is not going to feed as many, bigger can. And it's not just these logical or basic ideas that anyone could probably fix or change. It's also the unseen. We have, as said before, ethnicity. We have the lack of exercise. We have lack of sleep, and we have mental health. And even disabilities. These can all play part in the obesity issue. If there's lack of sleep, then we're not going to have the desire to make food for ourselves or to exercise. If we're depressed or have stress, we're not going to think about eating food, or at least healthy food. That's just how it is. And we're getting better at changing these factors, but it's still an issue. While there are many causes for the obesity case, knowing some of them, we can actually make a difference in our lives and people's lives that we know who are having this issue. And it makes us where we're not as ignorant. If we're ignorant about this, we're not going to make a change. We're not going to see a need for it. So as a cause for obesity, as I said before, is many. I only gave you a few. Again, they are lack of exercise, diet, finances, ethnicity, foods. All of that stuff leads to the issue of obesity. Now, you may be wondering why I'm talking about this, because I don't look obese or perhaps overweight. But a few years ago, I was overweight heading to obesity. And many of my friends are overweight or obese. And I'm always trying to be there to encourage them, as I did myself. And if I didn't know the changes back then that I made, I'd probably still be on my way to being obese or already obese. And this is a really important thing. I want you to take away from this that if you don't know about obesity or the causes of it, you can't really change it. If you don't acknowledge it, you can't change it. And I encourage you to think about this and to consider and not ignore it. It is important information that you can easily access anywhere on the internet. And I want you to use that to help change your lifestyle or friend's lifestyle, to not be ignorant of it anymore. Bye.